This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrum's optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome to News 25, brought to you by KPVM-TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler, and today is Monday, October 5th. Thanks for being with us.
Well, a lot of people in our area are getting the medical attention they need, thanks to Remote Area Medical, commonly referred to as RAM. The organization, comprised of hundreds of volunteers, travels the country providing a variety of free medical services to those seeking care. RAM CEO Jeff Eastman talks about their weekend stop here in Pahrump.
Remote Area Medical is a nonprofit organization that goes out and provides free health care, medical, dental, and vision all across the country. And this weekend we're here, right here in Pahrump, Nevada. It's our 5th time here, and it's exciting to be back.
We thought the first year we'd be one and done, that RAM would come out once and we'd be blessed with 1 year, but it's turned out that they've returned now for our 5th year. We're super grateful. I think it just speaks to our community host group, who puts in so much work to make sure RAM is accommodated and they're comfortable, and RAM has found that Pahrump's been very friendly to them, and so I think it speaks volumes for our community. And the need is great, so they travel where the need is.
Some people think I've got a magic wheel I spin in the office and decides where to go. That's not the case. We use a community host model, exactly like we have here in this community, and they reach out to us. They go to our website, bring RAM to our community. We have a process they go through, we send them information, and then we come to them.
So we do the planning meetings throughout the year, and then getting our supplies together. Came yesterday to set everything up, and then our office also helps with the follow-ups with the patients. So if patients beyond today have something that need addressed, we'll follow through and make sure that they get that taken care of. A lot of them, they don't have any other access to medical care, so this gives them the opportunity to get care that they need and to have things checked. And the women get pap smears and mammogram vouchers that they otherwise wouldn't be able to get because they can't afford it.
I'm really impressed. I'm really happy that they offer this for us people, and it's wonderful. Everyone's been kind and doing an awesome job.
I got new glasses now today. Tell me about that. I'm very happy. I like them. You know, it wasn't long of a wait at all. Only an hour and they were done.
We have volunteers that have traveled all the way across country to be here. Of course, we have lots of local volunteers, lots from Las Vegas, regionally, but they're from so many different states I can't even list.
I spent some time with volunteers. They've come here from Morehead City, North Carolina, from just up the road in Vegas, UNLV. Okay, we've got some dentists that came in from New York. We've got we call them core volunteers that are in charge of specific areas from Minnesota. It's absolutely amazing. Of course, Tennessee, and they've all come together. It's neighbors helping neighbors. It's not just a neighbor across the street, it's a neighbor across the country.
I just do it because I want to help our community. I've lived out here for over 20 years, and I want to give back because the community has been good to me and my family. So helping out people that need help is what it's about.
It's just coming out, doing a little chiropractic work, getting to talk to people, meet people. I enjoy the time in the community, and it's good to give back. It comes back to you. Everyone likes what comes here. You know, the energy from RAM is a lot of energy. There's a lot of good services go out for people that aren't able to attain them otherwise.
No matter where we are, it doesn't make any difference. There's people that need health care, and we're there to fill that gap. The need is never ending.
Commissioners had an opportunity to list off roadways that require potholes to be filled during the BOCC meeting on September 15th. Assistant Public Works Director Thomas Bowling delivered a report on general road maintenance, gravel road maintenance, asphalt patching, and weed mowing throughout Nye County.
In Pahrump, we are working on Cabo and Blosser Ranch. We should be substantially complete with the improvements on that, waiting for the chip seal bid to come out by the end of next week. And then we will start working on the rest of the chip seal areas following that. We have done a substantial amount of Durapatching in the Pahrump Valley. We've gone through over 1,200 gallons of Durapatcher oil. And we started last Saturday using the Durapatcher, fixing the courthouse parking lot to get rid of those big cracks that are in it. We are going to continue doing pothole patching here and there, but our main focus is prepping the roads for chip seal so that when that bid comes out, then we can go ahead and get going on that. In Tonopah, next week we will be striping the Belmont Road. Last week they sealed it, and this week we're going to stripe, or next week we're going to stripe it. We are doing a lot of Durapatching in Tonopah as well. I do believe that he is trying to get another load of oil from Vegas either the end of this week or next week in order to finish up a whole nother 1,000 gallons of oil up there as well. So we're actually using the Durapatchers quite a bit. There's grading of gravel roads out in Current Creek and Sunnyside. And Amargosa, we are still continuing on trimming trees on Brushwood, Funk, the Unnamed Road, and Vassar, and patching roads as we need it.
Well, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania are recuperating from the coronavirus after spending 3 nights at the Walter Reed Medical Center. President Trump returned this evening to the White House, where he will continue to receive treatment. His physician, Dr. Sean P. Conley, had said earlier today that the president was not out of the woods just yet.
When we come back, we'll have more news for you right here. Stay with us.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Southwest Medical, part of Optum Care, now offering same-day adult health care appointments. Call 775-727-6400 today.
Welcome back. In light of President Trump's diagnosis, drug makers are feeling added pressure to move more quickly and develop a vaccine for COVID-19. And the Justice Department is preparing to file a lawsuit against Google. Angela Miles reports.
Topping our news, the health of the president and the first lady are adding an extra emphasis to drug makers in the race to find a cure or vaccine for COVID-19. Gilead Sciences shares are down about 3% for the year. Gilead's remdesivir has had some success in the treatment of severely ill COVID patients. According to a report, the CEO of Pfizer told employees that development of its coronavirus vaccine will move at the speed of science rather than due to political pressure, while Moderna's CEO tells reporters the company's vaccine candidate with BioNTech won't be available for widespread use until spring. ABC News reports vaccines for children won't be ready until late 2021. The Justice Department is reportedly planning to sue Google this week. The lawsuit is expected to claim the world's dominant search engine is putting rivals such as Microsoft's Bing at a disadvantage. Google has repeatedly denied doing anything wrong.
Thanks so much, Angela. Well, let's go to Missy now with the latest on a murder case that's making its way through our courts.
Nicholas Von Alst appeared in Judge Lane's courtroom today via television from the Tonopah jail. The 20-year-old Pahrump resident has been charged with murder and armed robbery in connection with an incident that occurred in Pahrump in the early morning hours of June 24th. Von Alst is accused of teaming with 22-year-old Kyle Bickerstaff to steal a pistol from a 17-year-old person named Cameron Culbertson, and they arranged to go to Culbertson's home to buy the weapon from him. The pair allegedly pistol whipped the juvenile and tried to rob him at gunpoint. Culbertson was able to get the gun and shot off a shot and killed Bickerstaff. Based on Nevada's felony murder rule, a person may be charged with murder if while committing an armed robbery, a person is killed. Jason Ernest, who is the attorney for Von Alst, waived formal arraignment and informed Judge Lane that he intended to file a writ of habeas corpus in the trial. The defense asked for a jury trial to be scheduled. The defense stated that Von Alst is an employed resident and has close ties to Nye County and asked for release of the defendant on his own recognizance or reduced bail, saying that the defendant is innocent. The state opposed release on the defendant's own recognizance, explaining that Von Alst is, at the very least, guilty of robbery with a deadly weapon. Judge Lane will take the request for release and lower bail into consideration and will inform the attorney of his decision in a few days. The jury trial for Von Alst was set for March 9th. The person who is accused of killing 22-year-old Kyle Bickerstaff, Cameron Culbertson, was in district court today. The 17-year-old pled guilty before Judge Lane to hiding or concealing evidence, being the firearm that shot Bickerstaff and the shell casings, which he is accused of throwing out the vehicle window after the shooting. 47-year-old Monica Gonzalez was also arrested in this case for her part of allegedly hiding the handgun. The police and district attorney have determined that Culbertson will not be charged for the murder because they believe he shot Bickerstaff in self-defense. Sentencing for Culbertson will be on December 14th. He is facing 2 years in jail. His attorney, Daniel Martinez, requested that Culbertson receive an own recognizance release so he could go see his mother in Florida. He currently lives in Pahrump with his grandparents. Prosecutor Don Cherez opposed his release, stating that Culbertson is a flight risk and possibly a danger to others. The Nye County District Attorney told the judge that Culbertson has an extensive juvenile record. I'm Missy Kohler, and that's been your court report.
Thanks so much, Missy. Well, COVID-19 and influenza will be difficult to tell apart. They're both deadly respiratory diseases with similar symptoms, but there are a few important differences, according to Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Susan Ream.
One needs to have a test to be able to tell the difference. And it's really important to have the test because there are treatments for influenza. Prescription antiviral medications can be given for influenza.
Flu-specific antiviral medications can lessen the severity and shorten the duration of influenza. Dr. Ream recommends calling your healthcare provider within the first day or two of illness for maximum impact with flu antivirals. Antivirals can also reduce the risk of flu complications like pneumonia. She notes that several antivirals are being studied for COVID-19, but they're not available for use at home. Another difference between flu and coronavirus is that we have a vaccine to help prevent influenza. COVID-19 vaccines are currently being studied but are not ready. Dr. Ream says it's important to prevent what we can, especially during a pandemic, and encourages everyone to roll up their sleeves and get a flu shot.
We know that hundreds of thousands of people are hospitalized because of influenza, and it is preventable with vaccine. Get the vaccine. It doesn't take long, and that's one of the best things that you can do to protect yourself.
If you believe you have a serious respiratory infection like COVID-19 or flu, Dr. Ream recommends calling your doctor for guidance on testing and treatment options.
Thanks to Brad Francis for that report.
A man is arrested at a local park, and we've got today's Save a Pet. That's all coming up after the break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Thanks for being with us tonight. A man at an area park is arrested after he was allegedly attempting to fight several park goers.
At 11:15 a.m. on August 5th, sheriff's deputies were dispatched to Petrack Park in reference to a fight in progress. Deputies made contact with both individuals involved and both declined a report for battery. One of the males involved was identified as Travis Cunningham. Cunningham was allegedly walking around the park wanting to fight citizens that were at the park. Deputies noted that Cunningham smelled of alcohol and had soiled his clothing. Dispatch said Cunningham was released from custody on suspension from Nye County Detention Center and was ordered to stay out of trouble. Judge Chamley was contacted and notified of this incident and ordered that Cunningham be remanded back into lawful custody. Cunningham was placed under arrest and transported to Nye County Detention Center for criminal contempt.
Thanks, Missy. Well, there is a lot of great pets available for adoption in our area. And for today's Save a Pet, we meet Suka, a Shepherd Healer mix available now at Desert Haven.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Today, we introduce you to Suka. Suka is a black and white Shepherd Healer mix. He's about 2 years old and has not been neutered. Suka was found as a stray. He's vocal, very energetic, and friendly. If Suka sounds like the perfect addition to your family and you'd like to meet him, you can stop by Desert Haven Animal Society, located on Seary Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. Just give them a call first at 775-751-7020. You can also check out all of the other pets available for adoption on Facebook at Desert Haven Animal Society.
Working virtually with dozens of new platforms means teachers are facing some big challenges. These days, it may feel like a whole new world for many educators, which is why an educators co-op that began small is now gaining nationwide interest during COVID. The co-op has created a virtual place for teachers to share information, online learning techniques, and give one another much-needed emotional support. Kim Martinez reports.
It's almost as though we're teaching on the moon all of a sudden, and just said, you're going to have a lot of questions when you get in there. Good luck.
When Greg O'Laughlin first started the Educators Co-op a couple of years ago, he had no idea the important role it would play in today's COVID education world.
We have teachers from public, private, and charter schools working together to make sure that when a discovery is made that benefits a student trying to learn in this circumstance, it can be shared.
A teacher by trade, O'Laughlin created the co-op to give teachers a place to share ideas and problem solve. Since moving online amid the pandemic, it has expanded from Nashville to having followers nationwide. It's a problem-solving place for teachers to turn to as they adapt to new platforms during this boom of virtual education.
When there are questions, hey, I'm not having a good time finding answers to this problem, or I need a resource to help here, we can bring that to the co-op and work together to find those solutions and share resources.
Natalie Vedas, a special education science teacher, is a member of the co-op. She says it's been a lifeline for her during the quarantine.
During a pandemic, I not only switched schools, switched grade levels, switched content areas.
That meant reaching out for help, and the Educators Co-op has been there.
To support teachers, we offer around-the-clock tech support on a Discord server where people can text questions and share successes. We offer 2 calls a week on Zoom open to all teachers where they share successes and focus on a topic. And we meet monthly in large groups on big and small breakout rooms.
But for teachers such as Natalie, in addition to helping with virtual teaching, it's also had a profound personal impact.
EdCo not only was like a professional support group for each other, but because of the pandemic and everything, we also became this little family and an emotional support.
And what can parents do to help support those teachers who are still adjusting to virtual or distance learning?
I think it's most helpful when everyone provides grace. This is very hard. We are motivated to serve your students well and the whole family well. We're all learning.
A little grace for the thousands of classroom teachers nationwide as they work to adapt to virtual learning in the best interest of their students. Kim Martinez reporting.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler from Channel 25 Weather on location at Discovery Park. Have you discovered Discovery Park? This place is nuts. It's great. Great place to take your dog for a walk. Take your dog for a walk here. There's paths all throughout the place. Great Basin Water Company is kind of reimagining this abandoned golf course, and like this water hazard right here, not a water hazard anymore. It's a home to waterfowl. There's geese, there's ducks in here, there's koi in here, there's a turtle in here. I was saying they're all here, and you can just walk right in. There's access off of Pahrump Valley Boulevard just north of Mount Charleston, and also on Red Butte. You can park your car and come in and enjoy this park. It's a wonderful place to be. Why don't you come on back? We'll tell you about the weather. You can enjoy here at Discovery Park when we return.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. And how are you tonight? You're looking good. Looking good out there in Fernley and Fallon and Carson City, all the way up to 85 degrees in all 3 of those cities. Tonight's lows will be about 44 in Fernley, 40 in Fallon and Carson City. You'll see a pleasant 38. Is that pleasant? A little frost on the pumpkin, maybe. Might want to watch for that in Tonopah, too. 83 degrees for a high today. You'll see 42 tonight, but that can plunge rapidly, can it? I'm sure there's parts of town that are cooler than others. Out in Goldfield, all the way up to 86 with 42 for low tonight. Big swing in temperatures. Out in Beatty, 93 all the way down to 53. And in Amargosa, we saw 97 degrees today for a high. It's cooling off a little bit as we head towards sunset, but we'll get about 59 tonight. That'll feel great. Las Vegas is doing the walk of shame to the ATM at 98 degrees, but it'll cool off just like those dice all the way down to 62 degrees tonight. Death Valley, finally feeling like winter down there, 106 degrees, 69 for a low tonight. And here in Pahrump, 94 degrees currently is your temperature. 96 was your high today. Winds out of the southwest 5 miles an hour, blowing in some smoke. It wasn't crazy smoky, but you know, if you're like driving around, you get the long view of the valley. There's some smoke up there in them hills. Humidity very dry, 6%. And the sunrise this morning at 6:43 a.m. Well, it's just getting later and later. Setting tonight at 6:21 p.m. Hey, we gained some night. How about that? 94 degrees again. Your current temperature, a low tonight at 56 degrees here in Pahrump, and the winds out of the east to 4 miles per hour. That'll feel just pleasant. 13% humidity. Let's take a look as we head on into the week. And yeah, look at this. It's starting to feel like winter. Look at this. Look at this. We got some temperatures, 96, 94 next couple days, cooling off into the high 80s, and then it'll be like the high 70s for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. It'll be good football weather. What do you think? Lows all the way down to the 58, 61, all the way down to 52 on Sunday. Goodness gracious, time to break out a sweater. Maybe. I don't know. What do you do here? You break out a sweater? Do you just like, go, whatever, it's 53. I think I'm not sweating today. That's pretty good. Well, there's your weather report. Back to Missy. Back to Deanna. Good night.
Thanks, John. Well, I'm Deanna.
I'm Missy. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Good night.